EPAWA meteorologist Bobby Martin here with your outlook for the weekend, April 29th and 30th, 2023. It is the end of the month of April, and we are beginning May already this Monday. This time of year, you start thinking about outdoor parties and events. Graduations are coming up. It's wedding season. It's outdoor barbecue season with friends and family. Most of these events that I mentioned, you have to plan well in advance without knowing what the weather will be like, and then you're left crossing your fingers and hoping for the best. Well, the weekend video forecast sponsor can help you out with the weather part of it. Pitch a Tent Rental Company is located in Fogelsville, Pennsylvania, and serves the Lehigh Valley and surrounding areas. If you are planning any event, big or small, check out their website to reserve tents to keep your event dry and take the weather out of the planning part of the event. They can also help you out with tables, chairs, coolers, a dance floor, and even a bass-thumping sound system. The folks at Pitch a Tent recommend to always use protection, from the elements that is, as you never know how hot, cold, dry, or wet your big day may be. Go to pitchatentrentals.com. It's the website right above me here in the video. And be sure to include EPAWA in the additional comments section to receive a 10% discount. They are Pitch a Tent Rental Company, proud sponsors of the weekend video forecast. Well, this is a weekend. If you're having something outdoors, you'd certainly need a tent. It's going to be quite wet, right? We have the showers today are expected. It's not going to be as heavy as the rain as was yesterday afternoon and evening, but we will have some intermittent light showers, rain showers, and drizzle. So it's just going to be kind of a raw, chilly, rainy day today. It's going to be raw, chilly, rainy. That's the theme of Saturday. And once this moves through, we're going to get a little bit of a break overnight temporarily, and then we have more showers moving in late morning Sunday into early afternoon, and that's going to evolve into steady and, in fact, heavy periods of rain as we head into later in the afternoon and evening as low pressure enhances this rainfall and moves generally right up the Delaware River, as it's shown here. So it's going to go right over top of the region and bring potential for a heavier rain that we had from round one. So round one started, of course, yesterday afternoon and is going to be going continuously, not by much today, adding a whole lot to it today, but you will still have a continuation of that today. So round one in total, anywhere between 3/4 of an inch and 1.25 inches. There were some anomalies outside of that range there, but generally that was the case across the region. Second round is going to be 1 to 1.5 inches, and some areas getting as high as 2 inches of rain. So we'll have an opportunity for a little bit heavier rain with the second one, but this is going to end, we think, on Sunday evening, okay? So it's not going to something that's going to be lingering past midnight or going into Monday. This will move off to the north, and then we'll have to watch for this upper level low behind it, which will come in and affect much of the upcoming week, and I'll get to that in a second. Here's the NAM high-res future simulated radar, and I'm starting this off at 8 o'clock in the morning. You follow the timestamp in the upper right-hand corner as I move this forward, which is right here. And this is, again, this is just showery weather here in the morning. This will become more intermittent as we go through the day. And it's just light showers for the most part and some areas of drizzle. This is going to go through the entirety of the day in the areas mentioned. Some areas, our far southwestern areas, might not get too much. It might just be cloudy or just maybe some light drizzle outside of early this morning. So to see the morning, it has showers there, but then at afternoon is kind of concentrated generally up in these areas right here where it's kind of focused in this area. So it will be a raw, damp, chilly day for those areas, and areas further to the south where it just remains cloudy, you're on the opposite side of like a pseudo warm front that came through yesterday, basically. So you'll have temperatures in the 60s down here, solidly in the 60s, mid 60s. But up here we have these clouds, showers, rain. You're talking about lower 50s, low to mid 50s for highs today. So it's not going to be a very mild day at all. Well below average, of course, in temperatures. The average highs right now are in the 66 to 70 degree range across the region, so you're kind of like mid to upper 60s and near 70 in our southeastern areas for normal highs. So this is obviously well below that. Once we get into Saturday night, we're cloudy, just shower in spots here and a few spots. It's not going to be completely dry everywhere, but then when we get to Sunday morning, you have this rain moving up to the north here as shown. Rain similar to what we just had from the previous event is starting out, but then you're going to have, as we get later in the afternoon, you're going to have this turn into a steadier and, in fact, heavier rain. You can see the NAM is doing here as you get to late afternoon, mid to late afternoon here on Sunday. It has some very heavy returns here on the simulated radar because it's trying to capture this low pressure, which at this time is moving. It's right about here, and it's going to move right up the Delaware River in this direction. So it's going to take all this heavier precipitation, as shown here, or indicated by the reds and yellows on here. That's some pretty heavy rain. So we didn't have that with the first event. We had some heavy rain, or moderate rain, I guess, but this is going to be a little bit heavier. So we had the opportunity to get a little bit higher in some areas as far as rain totals. And this is going to continue right off to the north here. Here's 5, here's 6, 7, 8. As we get into the evening hours, though, this is 9 o'clock. It's just about starting to end here. So mid to late evening, it's pretty much done. This is midnight, and you have not really too much left here at that point. Okay, so it's over and done with that point. The damage is done. Now, as far as total rainfall, again, for both events for the weekends, this is, of course, starting from Friday afternoon when this started, going all the way to the end of the event. Most areas will end up in that 2 to 3 inch range, which is much needed rainfall. It's good for a lot of reasons. It's good for the water table. It's good for, killing this pollen. It's been ridiculous. If you're an allergy sufferer, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The vegetation, the grass, everything needs rainfall, and we are behind year to date. This is certainly going to put a huge dent in that deficit, if not eliminated entirely in some areas. So that'll be a good help. Okay. And since yesterday's rain and the stuff coming today is going to be a slow, steady soaker, it's not something like it's a big deluge. We will have that one period on Sunday, late Sunday, where it comes down heavier, but by that time the ground's saturated, so it should absorb most of it, and not just run off. That's what we definitely needed this. I mean, it's a poor timing. I understand that. It's the weekend. Everybody's going to be stuck in the house, or not be able to do the things you want to do outdoors, but we needed it. Okay, so get past this weekend, it'll be okay. We do have this upper level low here on Monday. Is going to be trying to come into the region. We will see partly cloudy skies, at least to start on Monday. The interior areas could see a shower later in the day here on Monday, as this upper level low is going to that's sitting over the Great Lakes. There's a big, broad upper level low here, and it's just going to start drifting in this direction like this over the next couple of days, very slowly. Upper level lows are not in a hurry to move because there's basically a lack of a steering flow, so it doesn't really move with any sense of purpose. So it's going to take some time to do so. So that means this is going to be influencing our weather. See, this is 24 hours later, and it's over in the eastern Great Lakes. It was over the central Great Lakes the day before, so it didn't really move much. But you have some opportunity for some showers here on Tuesday as this upper level low moves by. Again, not a heavy deal, but it's going to be another, cooler day with raw and chilly with mostly cloudy skies, and then, of course, the threat for showers here on Tuesday. Same thing here on Wednesday. Again, the upper level moves further east from the eastern Great Lakes now to eastern New England, so it's starting to move, but it's slow to do so. You still have an opportunity for some showers here on Wednesday as well. Thursday, maybe a shower in a few spots here. This isn't really exciting here for me for Thursday. You might have your first day where it's kind of like partly to mostly cloudy, maybe a stray shower type deal. But it's generally moving out at this point. And then we get to the end of the week here. We have to watch this system moving off to our south. GFS keeps it solidly off to the south. The European model brings us a little bit closer, and it gets us on Friday into Saturday morning, actually. Friday into Saturday with some rain in our southern areas. Again, the GFS is much farther south. There's nothing like this shown on the GFS as of the latest run this evening. As a matter of fact, I can show you that GFS run here. Not there. Okay. Well, where is it? Let's get over to that. It has the same system, well off to the south. Well off to the south. Not even close to our area, which would be a nice weekend in its entirety if the GFS is correct. So keep your fingers crossed for next Saturday and Sunday. We've had several weekends in a row now where we had at least part of the weekend interrupted by rain of some sort. So if you're looking to get a complete weekend in with no issues with the weather, root for the GFS. But we'll see. We'll find out. We'll dig into that next week as we get a little bit closer. Of course, timing and placement of features at a 7-day lead time is always going to be volatile. It's going to be erratic. It's going to change. It's going to go back and forth, and we'll see where the dust settles by the time we get to next week in the next video forecast. I'm EPA meteorologist Bobby Marchis. That is your outlook for the weekend, April 29th and 30th, 2023. Have a great Saturday and Sunday.